Good afternoon. My name is Nolukholo Tshwete. Thank you for joining this live presentation on student housing. Joining me is my colleague, Dorian Phillips. She'll be moderating your questions that you'll be logging in. Please feel free to participate by posting any questions you might have via our Q&A question. We'll try our best to assist. However, due to time constraint, we might not be able to cover all of your questions. My name is Nolukholo Tshwete, and I'll be taking you through the student housing admissions. The presentation has got 3 segments. Segment 1 will give you a brief overview of the student housing at UCT, and segment 2 will give you alternative sources of accommodation, and segment 3 will give you res life. And then the last question, we will try to accommodate few questions. Please do contribute by posting any questions. We might not have enough time, in which case you are more than welcome to post any queries you might have via our DSA website, which is www.dsa.uct.ac.za. Alternatively, you may log any queries you might have pertaining to student housing admission queries to res@uct.ac.za. Thank you. I will now take you through the brief presentation. Okay, and it accommodates about 7,300 students in its red system. The residence system is organized in a tier structure, which is 3 tiers. Tier 1 is for our first year undergraduate students who are under the age of 21 ordinarily, and they are placed in all catering residences. And then second tier, these are senior students who are provided with catering or self-catering accommodation. And then third tier residences, this is a residence that is reserved for postgraduate students. We also have limited family accommodation that accommodates about 42. Preference here is given to postgraduate students only. We also provide reasonable accommodation for differently abled students. You might be wondering in terms of the eligibility, how the process of admission works at UCT and the guidelines in terms of the criteria. We have rules-based housing admission criteria where we prioritize a set of students. These are financial aid students. These are national student funded students. They are prioritized as soon as they are made an academic offer and awarded financial aid. We also provide accommodation to minors. These are usually students who haven't turned 18 by the 1st of February of the registration year. That will be in 2022 admission. And then merit as well is considered. These are applicants who score admission point scores of about 540, which is about 90 to 95% aggregate. And then lastly, we would consider faculty rules-based admissions. This is based on faculty point score and special programs that each faculty would select in any given year. You might also be wondering how a housing offer is made. As indicated earlier, one would need to apply during the window period, which is the application, UCT application window period, the 1st of May up until the end of August. And in that UCT application, you need to indicate housing preference. There is a section for housing. That's the first criteria, first requirement. And after that application is received, then when an academic offer is made, either one of the 2 choices or one of the choices that you've applied to, you've got an offer of admission, one would be made a housing offer. And this housing offer can be awarded on 2 premises, which is an institutional offer. This is what I've mentioned earlier, which is those 3 categories, the minors, the financial aid and merit, or the faculty rules as previously indicated. These are faculty specific admission point scores and certain programs such as performing arts and other programs that require different allocation altogether. And once an academic offer is made and you are meeting one of these two criteria, then an offer is made. You can expect an email coming through you and notifying you of an offer of housing. And that offer will then be um, referring you to the student accommodation office that will make the actual allocation to residences, confirming which residence you've been placed in and that you would need to accept or decline the offer within a given period. Those are the main aspects with regards to a housing offer being made at UCT, the process of admission. And this process happens right through the admission cycle, which is from May up until February of the following year. So even though you might have an early academic offer in terms of the faculty that you've applied to, the housing offer might actually follow quite late, depending as to when you submit your results and when you actually meet any of the criteria that I've indicated earlier. We also make offers quite late after the release of the national senior certificates. Results are submitted in the case of students doing performing arts, where they need to do auditions, and also faculties such as health sciences who ordinarily would make offers quite late to very late students who reach admission at the end of the matric year. So you might also be wondering, what happens if I do not get a housing offer? Yes, we do have shortage of accommodation. We can only accommodate 2,200 first year in our residence system. So we do admit students into a waiting list, general waiting list. And in this instance, we can only advise at the beginning of the year whether one is actually getting housing or not. And we would also make a referral to our alternative accommodation office for advisory as to what to do. We have also, as I said, the off-campus accommodation services provides alternative sources of accommodation close to campus and where close to the university campuses as well. We also give information pertaining to rental affordability, the lease agreements, and deposits that are required. The service we offer is that of advertising for alternative accommodation close by. So you would actually go to our website and have a view of which properties you could contact, which landlords you could contact. So we do make a provision for that. And one would always have to look at alternative because we can't guarantee that all 4,000 first year students will be in UCT accommodation. At this point in time, I would like us to have a brief view of our res life at UCT, as we know that the university provides a learning and living experiences to all our first year students and the programs that we offer. I would like us to have a view of our video that gives a brief overview of what to expect in UCT accommodation.
Nolukholo, there seems to be a problem with the video at this point. Can we move on to some Q&As in the
Okay,
meantime?
thank you, Dorian. You can go ahead.
Okay, so a question that's come up quite a few times is, will it be compulsory to stay with a roommate in your first year at RES?
Thank you, Dorian. 50% of our first year students stay in sharing accommodation. I think the first point would be that we do not guarantee placement, and we also cannot guarantee a specific res allocation. We are also unable to guarantee whether one would actually be in a double or single room. Another question we can
And
take.
Nolukholo, we have also quite a few questions with regards to whether or not the area you are living in, or whether you are from the Western Cape or not, does that apply when applying for res? So if you are outside of Cape Town, do you automatically qualify for res?
We prioritize out of Cape Town applicants. We also do accommodate 10% of our students in our residences are local students. But as I indicated, our criteria doesn't specifically look at whether one is local or not local. If you meet any of those prioritized criteria, then you are entitled to get accommodation. But our priority will be our students coming from outside Cape Town. Thank you.
Thanks, Nolukholo. Another question we have is, how do we pay for student accommodation? Is it a separate payment? And also, the students are asking for a breakdown.
Okay, thank you, Doriana. I think I heard that. Is it a separate payment? Yes, it is a separate payment. It is all charges go to the one account, which is one UCT account, and it will be itemized in terms of the accommodation component and also the housing, sorry, the meal plans in a case of one who's taking a meal plan accommodation. I think I've covered that, but we can more come back to it. I see now we are trying to get to our res live video. I think we'll now switch over to that video. Please have a look. It won't take long. It's just about 4 minutes long. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Surprise Guguletu Misi. People call me Gugu. The high school I went to is Worcester Bathlam in Nelspruit. For those of you who don't know where Nelspruit is, I don't blame you. It's all the way in Mpumalanga. I'm currently a third year student studying towards a BSOC site in psychology and gender studies. Where you guys are currently is my room. It's time for you to see my res. Let's go to all the different places. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Let's go. On each floor of this residence, you will find a chill area where you can go sit with your friends, with your roommates, and on the opposite side, you find a study area. The study area is purely for people who want to chow course. When you're a serious course chower, you go there. Our chill areas you'll find on the left side of each corridor. You'll know it's the chill area because it has couches. You'll mostly find students sitting there laughing, talking about course. And I think that also just builds the character of this res. We have a games room on the first floor. Not a lot of people know about it, but don't worry. You'll move in here and I'll tell you all about it. It is a vibe. We also have a dining hall. You get to eat with other students from different reses. That is the it place for you to go make friends, especially if you're in first year. How you get your food from the dining hall is the simplest system ever. You go to the dining hall, you scan your student card, you'll get a token. If you don't have a student card, we have an app for you. They'll scan your barcode there. After you get your token, you go into the kitchen, you'll see your options, you pick one. The ladies in the kitchen will dish up for you. You get your food. Now, afterwards, you can choose, I want to go eat in my room, or hey, I want to go eat with my friends. Now you're like, okay, Guru, I'm in first year. I don't want to sit alone in a dining hall full of people. Who said you have to sit alone? Go find people, ask them to join you, and I promise you, they'll either say yes or they'll be like, okay, we're full, but there's another table you can join. UCT reses have laundry rooms. We have washing machines and we also have dryers. How do you sign up for laundry? You go on Vula on your house tab, and underneath you should see a thing called laundry room slots. You sign up for a slot. It's usually 2 hours, 1 hour for washing and 1 hour for drying. After you've signed up, you go to reception. You'll ask them, is the laundry room locked? If it is, they'll sign up the key to you. If it's not, you can just go to the laundry room, do your laundry for 2 hours, and there you have it. I'm sure you're thinking, Google UCT is such a huge place. How am I going to make friends? don't worry, we even have you covered there. We have UCT mentors, we have res mentors, you have subwardens, and you have house com. Subwardens basically work underneath your warden. We help oversee all warden duties. Housecom are your planners. They will be your best friends. They plan your events for the whole year. And I think the people that will be mostly important to you are your mentors, people like me. Our job as mentors is to make your stay here at UCT as comfortable as possible. Please do not hesitate to call us anytime when you need someone to talk to. We are here for you. We are here to basically help guide you, and we would love to see you succeed here at UCT.
Thank you so much for that video. It gives a little background and some bit of information pertaining to our res life at UCT. That's the end of our presentation. We thank you for joining us today. We might not have covered a lot of your questions, in which case we will download and publish all these questions and answers in our DSA on our DSA. For more information, please visit our website at www.dsa.uct.ac.za or email res@uct.ac.za for any further inquiries that you might have pertaining to student housing. We want to thank you, and we also just want to encourage you to submit your applications on time. The closing date is the 31st of August. We don't take any late applications, and we wish you all the best for 2022. Thank you so much.